Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and let's go through my August and September reads. So if you haven't checked out my August and September haul, you can check it out here. But these are some of the books that I got in that haul. So the first book that I read was Hello Stranger. Also, let me start by saying I started August having read 3 books for the year, okay? So August and September were both big months for me. So I'm officially on the come up here. You can see July I read 2 books, August 3, September 5, who knows how many in October. But then also read 1 thriller, 1 mystery, and 6 romance. Well, honestly, I like this split, but I would like to add some traditional fiction and maybe every once in a while some nonfiction as well. So I'm a wee bit behind on my goal of reading 31 books for this year, but that's okay, I'll catch up. The first book that I read was Hello Stranger by Katherinecenter. Hello Stranger is about this girl has face blindness and she can't recognize people's faces. And so it was comedy, it's rom-com. It was good. I ended up giving it 3 stars, but it's a high 3. Like I was debating 3 or 4. Yeah, it's a high 3. But that was The Bodyguard. So I like Katherinecenter's writing, and so I wanted to read another book by her, and she has a book called The Bodyguard. Did I say The Bodyguard or Hello Stranger? I don't know, I always get them confused. But I read The Bodyguard. I don't have the book because last night a couple of my cousins came over and 2 of them ended up taking like 8 books or so, maybe 6 books, which I love because I don't want to accumulate books until I think I need to start going to the library. But they took some of the books, and so that's one of them that they took. The Bodyguard is about a girl who is the bodyguard for an actor, a famous actor. She has to fake date him because his family can't know that he has a bodyguard. And it was also funny. Like Katherinecenter's writing, she's funny. I ended up giving that one 4 stars, and I still go back. I'm on the fence about whether I should give it 4 or 5. So Hello Stranger was 3 or 4, and then The Bodyguard is either 4 or 5. But it was good, would recommend that. So I guess it has to be I don't know, it could be a 4 or 5, I don't know. Currently on Goodreads, it's a 4 for me, but could change, I don't know. And then after that, I read The Boyfriend Candidate, which again, one of my cousins took. And that one, I ended up rating it 4 stars as well. Also, I should say that Hello Stranger and The Bodyguard, I don't think it had really like spice. There was moments of like, oh, maybe it could happen, but then they would get interrupted. And so it was maybe like 1 spice pepper. Maybe like that would technically be 2. If it's like alluded to a little bit. I don't know, but light spice. I read The Boyfriend Candidate, which is about a girl who is a librarian and a guy who is running for governor, hence candidate. Even when I did my book haul, I still had no idea what what The Boyfriend Candidate meant. Like it's like a play off the word candidate. Anyways, they fake dates, and that is also funny. I think I like the fake dating trope. That's what I'm discovering. I think it just sets up for so much comedy. It's great. And like so many awkward moments of like, is this us faking it or is this real, you know? It's great. But I ended up giving The Boyfriend Candidate 4 stars. No, 5 stars. Wow. It does have spice though, towards the end, like the last 20 pages, but it was a good one. It was good. I would stand by the 5 stars. So the next book that I read is called A Heart Worth Finding, and that was on my Kindle. That's an ARC, and I believe the Kindle version is out now, but the paperback version comes out in November, I believe. A Heart Worth Finding, it was about a girl and a guy who fell in love their senior year of high school during spring break. They end up going to the same college, which I don't think they knew. They end up running into each other their senior year, and they're like, oh, will sparks still fly? And it's sports romance. That was my first hockey romance. I still don't know what the hype is about hockey. That was my first hockey romance. It was fine, but I ended up giving that one 3 stars. I don't think it's supposed to be young adult. And also I think there was a lot of cursing, and yeah, there was cursing, spice, all the things, and it was just like too much for me, especially, yeah. So it was just too much for me. The next one that I read is called Suddenly a Murder, and that one I ended up giving 5 stars to. So that's young adult mystery. It's about this group of high school friends that after their senior year is over, they go to an island for a week for like a party as their last hurrah before going off to college, and then someone shows up dead. And so it's not funny. I mean, death is not funny, but the book was really good. It had a subplot of romance, which I liked, a little subtle little dazzle in there. That was fun. I ended up giving that one to my cousin as well because I thought that's a book that she would really enjoy, and so I hope she enjoys it. I will say that Suddenly a Murder, if you like Knives Out, you will like Suddenly a Murder. It's very similar vibe. Like the story is revealed through the investigation of like what happens. It was good. But if you like Knives Out, the movie, you'll like that. Also, if you like The Inheritance Games, I think you'll like this as well. The next book I read is The Night Shift, which is also on my Kindle, and that's also an ARC. That one I ended up giving 4 stars. So it is a sports romance, but he plays basketball, which I appreciate that it wasn't hockey. I might try one more hockey romance, but I don't understand the hype about hockey, guys, so I'm not pressed to read more hockey romances. For The Night Shift, the girl is a librarian, the guy is a college basketball player. They're both in college, and it was great. There was spice though. I will say there was spice. And then I read 2 other books. One is called Too Wrong to Be Right. I am not sure if I should give it 3 or 2 stars. It might be a 2-star book, but if you love Hallmark, you will like this book. It was just so like corny, and don't hear corny. If you like Hallmark, hear this as a compliment. But for me, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. But anyways, one of my other cousins, I think she'll really like this, except it's spicy and I don't think she would want any spice. So we'll see. But it's just so, like even the title just sounds like a Hallmark movie. But if you like Hallmark, if you don't know what Hallmark is, it's not worth it. Maybe pick it up from the library if you really want, but yeah, if anyone wants this, if my cousin doesn't want it, you're welcome to take it. I will mail it to you. Yeah, not for me. And then the last book I read, also one of my other cousins took it as well, and that was The Guest List. I ended up giving that one 2 stars. It pained me to do 2 stars because the whole book I was like, is it 3, is it 4? Is it 3, is it 4? Hoping that it would be a 4. But then it ended up being a 2. So basically The Guest List is about a wedding that happens on an island and someone dies and you have to figure out who did it, you know? But yeah, I felt like the whole book, like 90% of the book was just building the characters and not really progressing. Like there was no front runner, for me at least, for who did it. It was just, and I didn't even know what happened. Like it doesn't tell you that there's a murder until like 60% of the way through. It just wasn't for me. So I want to try another thriller, and I'm open to it being by Lucy Foley. Like it hasn't turned me off to the author, but it was a 2-star for me. It was. Those are all the books that I finished in August and September, but I want to go through quickly some of the books that I started or read a couple chapters in, and then talk through the books that I didn't get through in my haul. So I read a couple chapters in Lead. Basically, this is required. I am on my church's staff. I'm in part-time admin assistant for my church, and so all of our staff is required to read this. So we're going through chapter by chapter each week. We're on chapter 10, so we're close to the end, but haven't finished it yet. This is called Habits of the Household. My church has these kind of like Sunday school type classes before our Sunday gathering, and this is one of the books that one of the classes is about. The subtitle is Practicing the Story of God in Everyday Family Rhythms. So even though I'm not married and don't have kids, basically it's kind of like a habit book, but a little bit, I mean, it's habits for your household. It's basically like a Christian habit book. Yeah. It's very dense. Not too dense, but like there's just a lot. So dense, yeah. And then this is the Book of John. This is not the Book of John. This is a commentary on the Book of John. And I was in a summer women's Bible study going through the Book of John, which is really great. And so I got this commentary to go along with it. It's very readable, like very, the chapters are like 3 or 4 pages, but it's basically R.C. Sproul's sermons on the different sections of John. So if you imagine, sermons are very like easy to hear and understand because they're spoken and not written. And so this is very easy to read because they're basically, it was first spoken before it was made into a book, if that makes sense. Sometimes writing can be more complicated than speaking. But anywho, read a couple chapters in here. Some of the other books that I got but haven't read, this is Godliness Through Discipline. I am working on getting certified as a biblical counselor, and so this is one of the books that you can read to get certified. Same time next summer, this was in the book haul, but I just didn't have time to get to it. And then Gospel Treason. Gospel Treason was one of the books that was given to me at one of my trainings for the biblical certification. So it's not required, but, and I haven't gotten to it yet.
Bengals. Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Go Titans.
Maybe. Oh, why Titans?
I like the way they sound.
Titans?
Titans. Maria.
Maria.
Emmy.
What is clean? Okay, so for the last 4 books, one is Real Love by Rachel Lindsay. I'm just kind of nervous to read this. I don't want to be disappointed. Rachel's phenomenal. I hope it's not low. I hope it's a 3 or 4. I just hope it's not a 2. Ugh. So I'm a little nervous to read it. This one, I think I'm going to read, it's In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. I'm going to read it for Bookmas, I think. The Long Game, this one, I'm excited to read actually. I enjoy Ted Lasso's humor, even though I've only seen 1 or 2 episodes, but the cover is just so nice and smooth. It's like a matte, it feels good. And it's just a cute cover. So hopefully it's good. And the last book is Die With Zero. Die With Zero. The subtitle is Getting All You Can From Your Money and Your Life. And so basically I think the premise is that like you obviously die with $0 in your bank account. And the idea that if you have kids, it's better for you to like pay for their college or help with the down payment than to give them an inheritance when you die. Because once you die, your kids are probably going to be like 60 or 70 years old. And so they're already in retirement. And so that money has less of an impact on their life than when they're younger and like giving them a leg up. So I don't know if that's the full premise, but I think that's part of it, of like how best to steward your funds now, both so that you can enjoy your life, but then also kind of like, I mean, you can't take it to the grave, so how do you best steward it in general? But this is not from a Christian perspective in general, just in general. So those are all of the books that I've read and the books that are on my physical TBR. And so, yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you stay tuned to all the reading vlogs for all of these. And you can check me out on Goodreads here. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Also, check out this shirt that my church designed. So we're in Cincinnati, and then this is our area code. And then this is the skyline. The skyline of Cincinnati.